Hey guys, this is David here. I have a deck profile for you guys. I have Zach helping me with the Shadow Paladin deck profile. Take it away.
All right, so I guess we'll start with the obvious, the starter.
Why not the other one?
I mean, yeah, it's a Revenger. The Revenger name is nice and everything, but at the same time, it's just kind of not good looking.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I like the greens.
It's not foiled either.
I wish it could be. I wish we got the nice full art ones that Japan got, but sadly we didn't. So going over the grade 3s, the obvious for Mordred. So this is the Mordred build, not the control build that's going around. I do have that deck, but this one just feels better, and it's a lot easier to pilot than the other. So for Mordred Phantom, it's a staple card that you really need to max out. It gives you all of your pressure. It lets you build up your field early. It lets you turbo in a number of ways. If you go first, you can stack up a bunch of force markers to prepare for your second grade 3, which is Danger Lunge. It's basically a waterfall that works on rear or van. It's also not a bad first ride, but you can turbo into essentially a waterfall-like effect with your Sentinel Restrict. If you're going first, or if you're going second, Mordred just, kills your opponent, essentially. Getting 5 attacks in a turn is, as we found out with Harmonix Messiah, really good.
With a lot of force markers too.
Yeah, especially. I mean, and then on top of that, it gives 10k. It's just a really good card. Your secondary grade 3 is Danger Lunge. I was trying him at 2 for a while. I was thinking 6 grade 3s was a pretty, good idea in this deck, but I figured out that 7 is just kind of the sweet spot. You don't want to go 8, you'll just clog up your hand. And, this is, if you're going first, this is a good first ride, but otherwise you really just want to see 1. So 3 I found is just the sweet spot.
So you only run 7?
Yeah, I only run 7 3s. No
Interesting.
more.
Okay, cool.
It's
like back in the days.
Yeah. I miss G. 7 grade 3s was so nice. I mean, and that's half the reason I play Luard. Running 5 just feels really nice. So for grade 2s, we have the
Obvious.
the 4 Blaster Darks.
Ooh, nice.
The good art Snow Blaster Chad. So Blaster Dark, really you're only running him for the force markers off of Mordred and the restand. It does come up occasionally though if your opponent is only playing really good pieces that you want to get rid of. His retire can come up. Most of the time it's against Murakumo that I've noticed that you might want to have them snipe some of their board. Or if you're playing against OTT and they only have front row out, it can kill Macarons, it can do stuff like that. What's really nice is, if you're in early game, you only have a couple of force markers, I like to just swing into their rears first. It's essentially making them lose cards from hand. They have to replace them. You're taking out pieces you don't want to be attacked with. And then you can restand and maybe get crits stacked on them, make them more threatening. Because your opponent will be able to guard the early attacks a lot more easily. But once you restand them and you throw 10k more onto them, it's going to be a heal trigger or greater to 1-card guard. Makes it a lot harder for the opponent. So, second, obvious grade 2, we're running the 4 Masquerade.
Obvious.
It's a searcher. That's all you really care about is the search off of him. But the fact that he gets the extra 3k when he attacks van or rear, is stupid. It makes your opponent not be able to no pass you if they're on grade 1, because they're going to be on an 8k most of the time, and your 15k guards won't stop a trigger.
So it kept the old Masquerade ability / an extra ability.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, they just made a better version of the original Masquerade, just easily 4 good card. Then we're gonna get into some of the tech slots. So I was originally running I think 10, and then I went up to 11. And then I realized I was G-assisting for 2s way too often. So I am running 12 grade 2s, but I'm running some weird ones. I'm running the 1 Dark Bond Trumpeter. It's your 5th domain. It's not a bad ride target. More importantly, though, it's just... it keeps you from G-assisting too much. You don't care about your 3s because Masquerades will come up, they'll help you find them, but your 2s you need to hard draw into, so having the 12 just gets you there. I am running the 1 Countercharger. He has come up. And running 1 doesn't really like keep you from being able to guard like running 2 back in Gust Blaster days did. So he's just kind of a nice tech. You don't have to run him. You can run either a 2nd Dark Bond, or you could even cut Dark Bond for a 2nd of the Countercharger. But
you just like the 1/1 because
I do like the 1-of. It's also a 10k body where this is a 9, so it's nice having the extra 10k. I definitely don't do more than 2 of the next grade 2 because you don't want to be on a 5k. Great as a rear guard,
really
worst
great.
Vanguard ride in the game currently in Standard. It's kind of like old domain in that sense. You never want to ride into this thing.
Yeah, this card's really good.
But really useful for certain matchups that you're otherwise not equipped to deal with. So for those who don't know, this is a PR card that when it intercepts from rear guard, if your opponent's attacking with a rear, it PGs it. It's really good. There's no recurable way to get it back in this deck. You're not running Cool Bow to fetch it back from drop, but it can just essentially make your opponent's turn worthless if they're not an Excel clan. So I like using this against clans that have like really beefy rear guards, but not like a super amazing Vanguard. So David and I were playing a couple weeks ago. He was playing Grand Blue, and I took an entire turn off, just put both of these out, and just entirely stopped his Skull Dragon. And I think you were on Scaredick as well?
No, I had 2 Skull Dragons.
2 Skull Dragons? Okay. So yeah, I stopped his 2 Skull Dragons with this, bought me an extra turn. And I mean, like, with all of the force markers you've stacked up, they're still giant attackers. I just backed my Blaster Darks back to back row, threw these out, used them to buy me a turn, and then just went back to the Blaster Darks. But those are the 2s. For the 1s, we're running just a bunch of obvious stuff. We're running the 4 Masquerade, 11k booster, it recurs your Blaster Darks, that's really all it's here for. The 4 Nemain, still the best engine in Standard, I think. It just pluses you way too hard to not run. Going along with her, I only run 3 of Swordbreaker. I don't want to have 8 5Ks in here. I don't like riding into them. But 3 I think is the right number. 2, you'll run through them too quickly, but I have actually gotten all 3 off in a game before, and it's not bad to call from hand early game. It still pokes grade 2s if you call it from hand, so good card. Tech slots, I'm running the 2 Connor. Connor does a couple of things. It's basically a heal trigger in your hand. It takes your useless, used up 5Ks, makes them 10k guards. It also saves Blaster Darks from your soul if you had to ride into one. It can get 1 to drop, you can recur it with Masquerade. Super good card. And then the 1-of that I'm trying out, 20k booster if your opponent's on 5. Stick it behind a Danger Lunge. No way they're guarding that thing. And then just the obvious 4 draw PGs, you got your 8 crit, and your 4 heals. And that's the deck.
Any hard matches you have with this deck currently in the meta?
Murakumo.
Okay, so Murakumo is a hard matchup.
They bot deck your field, and it kind of ruins things. Against that deck, you really just have to like sandbag the Masquerades. You do still need to put your Blaster Darks out to attack them, and then they're going to go ahead and throw them back into your deck, and you can use the Masquerades you've saved up to try and find the pieces again. The other option, I guess, is to just go hard Danger Lunge in that matchup. Just try to push your opponent really quickly to 4, and then just sandbag a danger lunge to try and kill them out of nowhere. Just stack all your force markers up. So there are ways to play around it, but definitely
It
the
is
worst matchup.
Worst matchup. Okay. Well, thank you for the deck profile. Make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe to the channel. And my friend Zach here is actually one of the best players in our locals, our area. He doesn't go to big tournaments though. He doesn't go to ARGs or regionals or anything, but he's definitely what I rate one of the best players in the area. So, yep, make sure. And I think that's pretty much it. I like your markers, by the way. Very expensive collection there.
Just the one of, I mean, it's my favorite clan, so kind of have to show it off.
All right, guys, thanks for watching.